9 souls, lost, swallowed by a frozen wasteland. 5 bodies found, victims of the merciless cold. A tragedy, they said, an accident. But what about the other 4? Their injuries, so grotesque, so inexplicable, that the official story, to this day, is a farce. What really happened to the Dyatlov group? The truth was buried, but what Russia hid, what fear sealed away, will now be revealed. Brace yourself, because this mountain holds secrets that defy reason, and death has a new face. This isn't a simple tale of misadventure. This is a story of deliberate obfuscation, because while the official reports spun tales of tragic cold, while the public was fed palatable lies, something else, was happening, something so profoundly disturbing, so utterly inexplicable, that the truth had to be buried under layers of ice and indifference. How could internal organs be crushed, ribs shattered, and a tongue surgically removed, all from hypothermia? This isn't just incompetence, it's an insult to the dead. The past became a tomb, and the official investigation, a laughing shadow. The cold was a killer, yes, but it wasn't the only killer. And Russia knew it. If you stay until the end, you will discover the chilling theories that explain these impossible injuries. Our story begins not in a forensic lab, but in a place of raw, untamed beauty. The year is 1959, the Soviet Union, a nation brimming with a fierce, almost defiant patriotism. Our country, still scarred by the Great Patriotic War, was pushing its youth to conquer new frontiers, to push the limits, to embody the indomitable spirit of our people. And nowhere was this spirit more evident than in the wild, majestic embrace of the Ural Mountains. These aren't just hills. The Urals, stretching over 1,500 miles, divide Europe from Asia, a formidable spine of rock and ice, a realm of ancient forests and treacherous passes. In winter, it transforms into a blinding white wilderness, where temperatures plummet, blizzards rage, and the silence is absolute. It was a magnet for the ambitious, the adventurous, those who sought to test their mettle against nature's raw power. For them, it wasn't just a challenge, it was a pilgrimage, a testament to human endurance, to the strength born from our national identity. Expeditions into these remote, frozen frontiers were highly celebrated. They were proving grounds for our finest, and a source of immense pride. But in 1959, in one of its most desolate corners, the Urals would become something else entirely. A stage for an event that would defy logic, challenge science, and forever cast a chilling shadow over the very spirit of adventure our nation so fiercely championed. What happened on that remote mountain pass wasn't just an accident, it was a terrifying enigma waiting to be unearthed. This particular expedition, graded 3, the highest category of difficulty at the time, was no amateur stroll. It demanded skill, precision, unwavering resolve. Leading this formidable team was Igor Dyatlov, a 23-year-old engineering student, disciplined, respected. His eyes held the fire of a true leader, seasoned by years of challenging treks. He wasn't just a guide, he was the heartbeat of the group. His 8 companions were equally impressive. Seasoned students, experienced hikers, all united by a shared passion for the wild and an unyielding commitment to their nation's spirit of exploration. Zina Kolmogorova, sharp and resilient, a natural motivator. Rustam Slobodin, known for his strength and unwavering calm. Yuri Krivonyshenko and Yuri Doroshenko, the cheerful, inseparable duo. Lyudmila Dubinina, the only other woman whose quiet determination belied a fierce spirit. Alexander Kolovatov, stoic and dependable. Semyon Zolotaryov, the oldest, a military veteran whose experience was invaluable. And Nikolai Thibio-Brignolas, the intellectual, whose sharp mind often sparked lively debates around the campfire. This wasn't just a group of friends, it was a unit, forged in shared hardship, fueled by ambition, and bound by a camaraderie that ran deeper than friendship. They were the embodiment of our country's adventurous youth, ready to conquer the highest peaks, to prove their worth against the most brutal conditions. They knew the risks. They embraced them. This expedition was meant to be their triumph, a testament to their skill, their resilience, their unbreakable spirit. But what they found on that mountain pass would challenge not just their endurance, but the very fabric of reality itself. Yet, among these 9, there was a 10th, a ghost in the photographs, an almost participant whose absence rewrote history. Yuri Yudin, a young man, barely 22, part of Dyatlov's inner circle. He started the trek, shared the initial camaraderie, the excitement, but on January 28th, just days into the journey, a sudden debilitating flare-up of sciatica forced him to turn back. His pain was too severe to continue. A doctor in Visay confirmed it. He waved goodbye to his friends, their faces etched with concern, but also with the unwavering resolve of those who press on. He left, carrying a premonition he couldn't articulate. A twist of fate, a simple illness. It saved his life, but it condemned him to a different kind of suffering. The torturous what if. What if he hadn't fallen ill? Would he have shared their grim destiny? Or would his presence have somehow altered the course of events? This single detail, this solitary departure, transforms the narrative. It's a chilling reminder of the arbitrary nature of survival. 9 went on, 9 vanished, and 1, by a cruel stroke of luck, was left behind to tell a story no one would believe. His survival wasn't a victory. It was a witness's burden, and a profound, haunting question mark hanging over the entire expedition. They pressed on, oblivious to the terrifying drama unfolding in the unseen future. Their diaries, later recovered, paint a picture of mundane heroism. Routine entries, daily mileage logged, the weight of their packs, the bite of the wind, simple observations about the snow's texture, the vast silence of the taiga. Kolmogorova, meticulous, noted, everything is good. Krivinishenko, ever the joker, sketched caricatures, each page a window into their world, each word, now, a whisper of impending doom. Their cameras, frozen solid, and later thawed, held grainy photographs, smiles, laughter, a tent being pitched against a backdrop of endless white, poles straining in the wind. Dyatlov, ever the leader, pointing towards a distant ridge. Zolotaryov, his face crinkling with good humor. These weren't adventurers courting disaster. They were friends, living out a dream. On January 30th, they celebrated a birthday. Simple joys, amplified by the stark beauty of the Urals. But a detail emerges, subtle, almost imperceptible. On January 31st, their final entry, a sense of unease, a struggle with the weather. It is impossible to make out how to go. One entry reads, "We are looking for a place for the night." This was their last documented moment of ordinary life. What happened next? The diaries cease. The cameras fall silent. The meticulous record-keeping, the camaraderie, the mundane details, they vanish. The ordinary abruptly ends, giving way to an extraordinary silence. A silence that would scream for decades. What force precisely could silence 9 experienced hikers, leaving no witness, no clear explanation? The mountain held its breath. That question, that terrifying silence, leads us to a crucial, fatal misstep. While you watch this, remember, a single decision, made in haste, can unravel everything. The team, seeking shelter, made a critical error. Instead of descending back into the protective embrace of the forest line, where warmth and relative safety awaited, they pushed up. They chose the open, exposed slope of Kolatsiakal, the dead mountain. This wasn't their intended destination. This was an accidental deviation, born from dwindling light and the brutal conditions of January 31st. They were aiming for the pass, a familiar, safer route, but the mountain, veiled in a whiteout, disguised its true intentions. They were off course, exposed. The strategic mistake, camping on that unforgiving slope, a cardinal sin in extreme winter expeditions. The forest, a mere 1.5 kilometers away, offered shelter, wood for a proper fire, a fighting chance against the elements. But they stopped. They dug in, on the very shoulder of the dead mountain itself. Why? Was it fatigue, a stubborn desire to make up lost ground, or something else, an unseen pressure, forcing their hand? O vento uivava, uma sinfonia de gelo e desespero. A temperatura despencava. Eles ergueram sua tenda, rasgando a neve, fixando-a contra uma ventania que logo se tornaria pesadelo. Uma decisão fatal. Eles escolheram o isolamento, em vez de santuário, a exposição, no lugar da segurança. Uma escolha que, em retrospecto, selou seu destino. A montanha, imponente e silenciosa, iniciou sua contagem regressiva mortal. Você consegue imaginar o frio, a sensação de cada fibra do seu corpo se rendendo ao gelo. The agreed-upon deadline was February 12th. Dyatlov's group, experienced and meticulous, had promised a telegram upon their return to Vizhai, the last outpost of civilization. Days crawled. February 12th came and went. No telegram. Initially, relatives shrugged. Delays were common. The mountains were unpredictable. But as February 13th bled into the 14th, a quiet unease began to ripple through Sverdlovsk. Yuri Yudin, the 10th member, felt it first, a tightening in his gut. He knew Dyatlov, punctual, reliable. This silence was unnatural. The 15th passed. The 16th. Now the concern escalated. Calls were made. The Polytechnic Institute, their alma mater, began fielding anxious inquiries. Still, the official response was muted. They're probably just delayed, came the reassurances. It's the Urals. But the families knew better. They knew the hikers. They knew the mountains. This wasn't a delay. This was silence. A heavy, suffocating blanket of it. By February 20th, the pretense of normalcy shattered. The families demanded action. The Institute, finally recognizing the gravity, dispatched a search party. Students, volunteers, a desperate race against time. They would retrace the steps of the Dyatlov group. They would find them, or what was left of them. A montanha, guardião implacável, havia mantido seu segredo. Por tempo demais, mas todo segredo. Dia, vem à tona, e este era segredo de morte. The search was arduous. Weeks of brutal Siberian winter, relentless winds and blinding snow. Every step was a battle. Then, on February 26th, just 3 kilometers from Kolatsiakal, the dead mountain itself, the pilot Mikhail Sharavin spotted something, a dark smudge against the pristine white. It was the tent. Relief, a fleeting surge, washed over the search party. They were alive. They had to be, but as they approached, the relief evaporated, replaced by a cold dread that coiled in their stomachs. The tent wasn't just abandoned. It was shredded asterisk. Not by an animal, not by the wind. The damage was too precise, too deliberate. The entire front wall, facing the direction of their descent, was cut open from the asterisk inside asterisk. A jagged, desperate slit, as if someone had frantically clawed their way out. Inside, a scene of bizarre chaos. All their belongings were there. Boots, warm clothing, an axe, a kerosene lamp, food rations, even their valuable cameras, entrusted with capturing their journey, lay discarded. No fazia sentido, desafiando toda lógica. Porque caminhantes experientes, no inferno de temperaturas sub-zero, rasgariam sua própria proteção, abandonando tudo, essencial para a sobrevivência. Isso não era uma retirada, era pânico, uma fuga frenética, desesperada. Mas de que, para onde foram? A neve ao redor da tenda, silenciosa, guardava as primeiras e mais horripilantes pistas. O que você faria? Você rasgaria sua única defesa contra a morte certa.